I adapted. And what happens when you adapt? You have to change the laws again and again and again. And I see with the, if you had all the money in the world, what I see is a big fence around this county. And everybody has to be screened before they can drive through. And then when they pee in the toilet, your urine's going to be screened. If you had all the money in the world, yeah, you could make it a drug-free society. You really could, but it's not going to deal with the issue. What happens if our budget, the county budget, got cut in half? If money is the answer to our solution, then we have a solution. We can't depend on money. We can't depend on just independently sitting at this table. It's our responsibility. It's my responsibility as a young man. It's my responsibility to be a man and to be a moral man. It's my responsibility to teach my children. It's my responsibility to be an example. It's my responsibility to be a strong threat in society. It's my responsibility to raise my children to be that. And otherwise, I'm the issue. I'm the problem. And yeah, drugs are an issue and they're a problem, but my decisions, my home decisions, it was a lot of things were mentioned, a lot of good things were mentioned here. And I think it comes down to it's my fault. It's my issue. We as a society really have to be the ones. And like I said, I've run governments inside of the program. I have discipline, I have laws, there's accountability, there's all these things that are in society. It's like a small little world. And I can tell you, changing policies, yeah, you can change policies, but everybody adapts. And the thing that I found that has been something that has changed lives, it's been my personal time. It's been the time that I put in. It's been the example that I've been. Of course, we're dealing with a much major issue, the issue of sin. Of which we all know Jesus Christ is the answer. That you're not going to force people to have good morals by a law, and you're not going to do it by name. It's something that's crept in, and like I said, over in the West, it's a whole lot worse. As it is in Las Vegas alone. In 1 year, I had my car stolen 3 times when I lived there. Crime is severely, a lot worse over there than it is over here. When I got here, I just realized I was like, wow, you can go to the bank, and without an ID, you can pull out money. I have to do this on newspaper. I was blown away, and it's such a blessing to see the difference in people over here. I didn't even believe this existed in Las Vegas. Everybody's just out for themselves. Everybody's just out to do their own thing, and that's the problem. And what we can do is those of us who are concerned, we can give our time, we can sacrifice, and we can make our effort and do the right thing. If we do not invest in our society, in our children, in our lives, in the people, there's only a handful of us. Look around. This room is very filled. There's just a few people. There's only a handful of us. It's unfortunate. Even drug rehabilitation is corrupt. Insurance. It's an insurance scam. 28-day programs, and they cost $30,000. For 28 days, it's ridiculous. All I can do is do my part. If you guys, me as a family member, I have to tell my wife, look, if I start going in the wrong direction, I start using again, I don't want you to love me and to let me continue to do it. I want you to leave me. I want you to separate from me and say, Jason, you got 2 choices. You can go get help, but you're not going to be with me. And that's the kind of love that we need to show our society. That's the kind of love we need to show our families. That we're not going to support them in a drug habit. And we as people can only deal with our own house. We can only be the head of our house. We can only do that. We can't enforce morals on other people. But I think it starts there. And I'm doing what I can. We're doing my part. And if you guys ever have anybody that you need to send, we're not funded by the government. We're not funded by tax at all. You can send them over to each other Christ. That's only one part. There's a whole lot more, a whole lot bigger part. The whole thing. It takes time. It takes time. For me, I've been in 6 years. And guys, I barely know how to handle my finances. I started out at 8 years old, and I gotta tell you, why did I start out? Why did I do it? I started out. I lived in just say no. Just say no. That's the place I grew up. I grew up educated about drugs. I grew up in a church. Foolishness inside my heart is just a fool. You can't beat that out of a fool. You can't beat foolishness out of it. You grind them in the mortar pestle. You can't divide a fool from his foolishness. It's just not going to happen. again, I believe Jesus to be the answer, but we have so many responsibilities, and all of us will have to do our part. But it's a big problem. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. And we have to give our heart. We have to sacrifice our time.
Thank you. Thank everyone for coming, everybody that's here. You've been an inspiration to every person that's in this room with your comments that you make. It will not go unnoticed. We have a lot of good people in our community that work together to put together a plan, and I promise you there will be more meetings of such with a plan in place that we can push forward and try to curtail the problems that we've got here. I appreciate everyone here, our officers, law enforcement, Steve, Eddie, General Dunn, all the members of council that we've got present, Chief, and everybody. We love all of you, and the biggest thing that I'd like to say from my heart, the best answer for our problem comes through prayer. So, we're dismissed.